Well, once again, the all-important reconstitution of the country's electoral body is around the corner. This is as a result of 3 exiting commissioners led by Chairperson Wafula Chebukati, as well as the controversial resignation of 3 others earlier. The only remaining commissioner, that's Irene Masit, is suspended and currently facing a tribunal seeking to kick her out. So what perennially ails Kenya's poll agency? NTV's senior reporter Duncan Hayamba interrogates.
On Tuesday, January 17th, 2023, the curtain comes down on the tenure of Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission, IEBC Chairperson Wafula Chebukati and Commissioners Boya Mulu and Abdi Gulie. Only the CEO and his deputy will remain in office. Earlier, Commissioners Juliana Cherera, who was the Vice Chairperson, Justus Nyang'aya and Francis Wanderi, resigned amidst a probe over their conduct in the last election. Irene Masit, who stands suspended, is now at the mercy of Justice Agri Mushelule Tribunal that is baying for her blood, following Parliament's recommendation that all the 4 commissioners who broke rank with Chebukati and disowned presidential election results be kicked out of office. So when did the rain start beating Kenya's electoral body?
A declaration is hereby issued.
When the Supreme Court nullified the August 2017 presidential election, Chairman Wafula Chebukati fired Chief Executive Officer Ezra Chiloba, who was the Commission's accounting officer, as he demanded answers over what went wrong during the election.
Kwamboka Roslyn Akombe.
In October 2017, following the nullification of the August presidential poll, Commissioner Dr. Roslyn Akombe resigned while en route from Nairobi to Dubai to collect ballot papers for the repeat election. 6 months later, in April 2018, 3 commissioners, Vice Chairperson Consolata Nkadha Maina, Paul Kurgat and Margaret Mwachanya, resigned over what they claimed to be chairman's failure to provide leadership at the commission. The electoral body needed 4 new commissioners. Incidentally, the 4 new commissioners, Juliana Cherera, Francis Wanderi, Irene Masit and Justus Nyang'aya, who were recruited to fill the gap, also dramatically disengaged on live television as Chebukati was releasing final presidential election results at the Bomas of Kenya.
We are not at Bomas of Kenya because we cannot take ownership of the results that is going to be announced because of the opaque nature which these results have been handled.
As Parliament prepares for another grueling process of constituting the Electoral Commission, experts have described the IEBC top job as the ultimate poisoned chalice. Since the onset of multi-party elections in the country, the Electoral Commission has had 4 chairpersons: the late Justice Zacchaeus Chesoni, the late Samuel Kivuitu, Isaac Hassan, and Wafula Chebukati. At least 3 of them have left the office vilified and condemned following disputed presidential election results. In the 1992 general election, Chesoni-led team was frowned upon not only by the opposition but also the international community. All its 21 commissioners, including the chairperson Zacchaeus Chesoni, were appointees of then-President Daniel Arap Moi, yet the incumbent was contesting in the election. Moi won, and the late Kenneth Matiba filed a petition to challenge the win, which was struck out by the courts. In the 1997 general election, Moi won his last term in office, and the late Mwai Kibaki, who was then leader of official opposition, filed a petition challenging the win. The case was struck out on account that Kibaki had failed to serve then sitting President Moi in person.
Naapa kwamba
So far, the 2002 poll is the only presidential election not to be contested. In 2005, a constitutional referendum was held and President Mwai Kibaki's banana team was handed a resounding defeat by the orange side led by Raila Odinga, Uhuru Kenyatta and others. The Kibaki government then disregarded the 1997 IPPG deal. This saw the president single-handedly appoint new commissioners for the 2007 election without participation of the opposition, leading to a huge outcry by the opposition and civil society organizations. When presidential election results were announced, with Kibaki reportedly beating Raila Odinga by 200,000 votes after a long wait, expectedly, the outcome was disputed. Post-election violence engulfed parts of the country. Political turmoil led to the death of at least 1,300 Kenyans during one of Kenya's darkest times. In the 2013 polls, the presidential election was disputed once again as one of the coalition's code claimed rivals Jubilee had shared a server with IEBC. The opposition then began weekly demonstrations to have Isaac Hassan-led team kicked out of office. Hassan's team was sent packing and his successor Wafula Wanyonyi Chebukati and his team were sworn into office in January 2017, less than 7 months to the election. Contrary to recommendations from the Kriegler report, which indicated the electoral body must be in place at least a year to an election. For Chebukati and team, it was baptism by fire when the Supreme Court nullified the August 8, 2017 presidential election. The 2022 election was equally contested, but just like in 2013, the Supreme Court was unanimous in upholding the win as announced by IEBC. Duncan Haemba, NTV.